Change is a constant, and I'm making one to my Professor Slots business, which is also kind of a big step. As you may know, I moved to Reno last year to be closer to my daughter, but I'm Professor Slots and this is Reno, so change was bound to happen. After numerous fruitless attempts at casinos in Southwest Ohio, I finally got permission to video record with privacy, the usual privacy restrictions at Atlantis Reno. I'm hopeful it will be the first of many. Let's discuss the consequences of this surprise, a shock to me, for how I plan on using it to further help slots enthusiasts. And if you have suggestions, share them in the live chat, or if you're watching this recording later, leave a comment. I'd love to hear them. And of course, I'll be taking your questions. Let me share the banner so you have that. And because this is a live stream. Hello to you watching this recording on YouTube, Twitter, my Facebook profile page, or listening later to the audio on a podcast episode. Thank you for being here. And be sure to subscribe or follow for notifications so you can have your questions answered the next time I do one of these. But either way, stick around and I'm sure it will be of value to you, even if you are watching this after the fact. For those of you who are here live, thank you so much. And a special thanks to my moderators for helping out today with today's live stream. Thank you. I appreciate you. If you have a question, use #question. That's so we can be sure to spot your question to me instead of comments in the live chat to each other. Look at all those donations. After all, this is also a community video where friends check in with lots of comments to one another, which is great. So please, if you have a question for me, start your comment with #question. Welcome to the Saturday edition of the Professor Slots live stream. You know how you spend a lot of time and energy and put a lot of time and energy into your slots play for not nearly enough wins? Yeah, I get it. I'm here to help you change that. If you're trying to accelerate your slots momentum, become more profitable, and win more than ever before, today's live stream will help you move forward with confidence. I have over a decade of experience working with slots enthusiasts just like you, so you're in the right place. Hello, slots enthusiasts. It's great to hang out with you again for another Professor Slots live stream. I do these every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, and Saturday at noon Eastern, minus some of the holidays earlier this week and coming up for Christmas and New Year's. But, I do this to help you improve your slots performance, leave with your winnings, and ultimately change your life for the better. And hopefully I'm going to change your life a little bit today so you can visit your casino and play slots smarter. And sometimes the best way to do that, to change slots enthusiasts' lives for the better, is when they enter a business relationship with us. They become a client. They buy our online course, they start getting coaching from us, whatever the case may be, because you have ways to take advantage of your casino, which allows you to impact how much you win and then leave with your winnings. I'm your host, Dr. John Friedel, but please call me John. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to and I'm behind on the slides. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses. I'll put the link into the live chat. Be careful on clicking on it. It might take you out of the live stream. You'll also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. If you're new, how these live streams work is I pick a slots topic, usually inspired by your questions from prior live streams, comments on Facebook or Twitter, from emails I receive from fans, or from weekly discussions in my Slots IQ group. Each live stream, I talk about that slots-related topic for about 20 minutes, then take your questions for the next hour and 40 minutes. I hit a hard deadline at 2 hours when my voice starts to give out. So I'll get to your questions as soon as I cover today's topic, but start asking them now. It's a free service, and I'll get to as many questions as I can as soon as possible. But first, today's topic. But actually, first, I want to thank my donations. Magpie has given a super chat, which anybody can do. It's at the bottom of the live chat on YouTube, or you can use the Cash app and give less to YouTube. Thank you, Magpie11. This is a super chat, and for $20. Thank you very much. And she says, winners are grateful. And that's always a pithy comment. That's wonderful. And also I want to thank Chuck for his super chat. He says, morning all, still in a food coma here. Wonderful. I'm happy for you, I guess. Got to go work it off. And also thanks to John for his donation of $10. John says, it's been a good month, Professor. I'm so happy for you. Anything I can do to help, just let me know. And Paula is having dinner with her kids, big dinners with her kids at 1 Eastern, which is like 54 minutes away. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope everybody had a safe, that's one of the ones I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving week. And that Black Friday was safe and satisfying. I've missed you. And yes, how are the cats doing? Let me lean to the side and try to, okay, so there's one right here. Yeah, one right over there in the sun. And where have you gone? I have relocated the modem so it's on the floor where they tend to knock it. And maybe they'll start climbing the bookcase. So Paula says setup is looking good. Thank you. And the cats are, Eddie's there. And, you know, when you can't see the cats, you start to worry. And the cats are doing great. And kitty sighting. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Chop, I'll get to your question in a little bit. I wanted to cover today's topic first. Okay, so, okay, so they're both right there and they've shown up. No worries, no worries. Okay, so a central preoccupation of my time and efforts has been how best to help you win at slots. We're all on a slots journey, making our way across the landscape of our local gaming industry, or that which we visit in the US and abroad. Some say I have a method for winning at slots. And some say I have a method winning at slots, and others realize that 10 winning slot strategies isn't just a method. And you've begun to recognize that winning at slots isn't everything. You also need to leave with your winnings. So that is, if you're not playing slots just for the entertainment value. Having fun spending everything you won is great, but not if you're unable to do anything else. Back when I was teaching college physics, then later mechanics of materials for undergraduate engineers, labs were important. You can talk about pendulums or collisions all you want, sometimes at the same time, but crashing two hockey pucks or bits of clay together can really get the point across instead of just equations on the whiteboard. And I've always done both. I wanted to do both for my Professor Slots business, but Midwestern casinos have been a struggle to get permission at, even with a 40K plus YouTube channel. Then last month, I walked into Atlantis Casino for the very first time, and they were like, sure, okay. And you know, me being me, I pushed them. I asked, can I get that in writing from corporate? and what do you know? To my shock, they did. A dream fulfilled. For too long, I've been relying on other slots channels to use my 5-spin method at their casino, for which I was thankful even when they sometimes did it wrong. Nobody's perfect, right? But now I can demonstrate all the subtleties myself. I can and am. Want to see my demonstration of finding winning slot machines by using my 5-spin method on 24 machines? I'm posting those 24 videos right now, twice daily. As of this morning, 4 are published and 20 remain. You should watch them and see if you can spot the 3 candidate winners. No spoilers, but the big winner will be easy to spot. So what I, so what I, so what have I explained to you should be done next if we do find candidate, if I did find candidate winners, and I did. So my tough love method, right? My tough love approach, right? So I'll return to each of those candidate winners and use that approach. 10 bets, and if nothing is won, walk away. If something is won in those 10 bets, make 20 total bets, then ask myself the tough love question. Should I stay because I won enough to want to stay? Or should I walk away? And everything's good, yes. I have recorded a few tough love videos, but haven't yet uploaded them. But I can imagine your comments already. That was enough wins to stay. Why are you walking away? I wouldn't have left. While at the same time, somebody else comments, totally walk away with so few wins. Righteous. The comments get pretty interesting, better than what I'm saying. So getting up and walking away from a slot machine, which is providing wins, but in my opinion, not enough wins, is an awesome, even shocking, real world demonstration of what we face every time we visit a casino. I can remember back in the day telling my sisters and other family to go to college because it's a good idea. Because, well, yes, everybody in my parents' generation worked for General Motors in Michigan, and even had one aunt who was white collar, but she's always been a rebel. Yet in the next generation, nobody did. And yet it wasn't until I got serious about going to college myself that they're watching me do it had such a big impact. So, okay, I'm now demonstrating the advanced principles of my 5-spin method, not the newbie understanding of my 5-spin method, although I probably should record that too, but using my 5-spin method. And let's see. But using my 5-spin method combined with other strategies. Remember, Atlantis Reno is a new to me casino. I'm trying to learn it well myself after only a few weeks, and I'm learning fast. But as I always advise you do for your casino, learn it well. So I'm starting to survey which machines. I'm starting with surveying the slot machines and looking for candidate winners. And I did mention that Atlantis Casino has must hit by labels on a few of their progressive machines. Yes, and let me share that. Progressive jackpots. Yes, they have 9. And Reno has 9 low limit progressive slot machines that have must hit by amounts, as well as 5 high limit slot machines. How many does your casino have? Have you checked? I mean, there might be, what, 1,500 slot machines, including video poker, which in Nevada is not a slot machine, mixed in there. And they have 5 9 low limit progressive machines with must hit by amounts and 5 high limit machines. And I wanted to show you something about this. You know, how many does your casino have? Have you checked? Are you tracking those must pay by to see when they get close? That's yet another demo for me to show you how to use my progressive jackpot strategy. And so let me share with you this. I'll make it a little bigger so you can see it a little better. I'll just put myself out of the way here. So I've talked about must hit by, must win by, but there's another wording that seems to be on aristocrat, or is it aristocrat machines that say win before, which I had never seen before. But there's several of the machines there have win before. This is a 25-cent low limit machine, and this is a $5 denomination high limit machine. And you can see right there, look, it's a little small, 25,576 must pay by, and it's at 23,000. So what you need to do with the progressive strategy is find out how much bet you make, how much that will add to each of these progressive amounts, and then you have to determine, will you make money if you kept playing and push it over that amount? But to know that, you have a bunch of work to do. But the first thing is to know what the number is and find out how high can it get. I mean, if this was 25,000 $400 that was showing and only had $100 to go, then that would be worth the investment, right? And so, you can take the easy route, the non-thinking route, the non-keeping records route, and just keep an eye. Just walk by and say, "Oh, I've never seen it that high before. Play it," or "Oh, that's a long way to go." No. So you can make these snap judgments, or you can look at it and say, "I've kept records, and this is the highest I've ever seen it. And if I did the math for how much the number would increase by my paying it, would this be?" So this is the progressive jackpots strategy, and I'm doing it right there at Atlantis Casino. It's kind of a cloudy day, so it's not just blotted out there, and keep an eye on the cat sightings. Other demos are my morning after holiday celebrations and busy nights, and comps won from earning players club points, like their card drawing 2 weeks ago. I found out about it not soon enough, got my card a few days before the drawing, and each day before the drawing I earned 1,000 bonus points for the drawing entries. So I had something like 2,000 and plus what I had spent to earn it. So I ended up with like 2,100 bonus entries in the card drawing. And I realized everybody got that. Trying to find these advantages at winning a car. I would love to win a car again. Right now, I don't own a car, and it'd be great to, get one for free. I might actually take it, or maybe I won't. We'll see. And so the drawing was very different from what I had done when spinning a wheel. They had envelopes that you wanted to pick. So no, I did not win the car, but that's something that I can go to now and should and explain to you and maybe even demonstrate. And it's hardly worth mentioning that online slots are legal in Nevada and was yet to be legalized in Ohio, so I could get into that too. But online slots are not a priority for my business until that whole industry calms down a bit. It's still a little too wild west yet, if you know what I mean. Now take all this and multiply it by 11. Not because I have 10 strategies, but because Reno has 11 casinos within 5 miles of my apartment. I point to one here, but there's one over there, and there's there's the international airport there, so I could fly to Las Vegas, and there's 40 casinos on the Las Vegas Strip to start. So okay, how many of these casinos should I try and possibly succeed at getting permission to record? My Nevada record is 50-50 at this place. I asked 2 casinos, one said yes. One success, one failure. For now, I have to ask them again when it's not a holiday and they're not going through Black Friday or it's weekend. So on Wednesday is typically my day out, and I'm thinking, hey, Uber, 12 Ubers to 11 casinos and then back home. Yeah, and get a card, ask if I can get permission. Maybe it will be as easy as Atlantis. And all this is to, give you demonstrations. But change is a constant, and helping slots enthusiasts to win is my passion, and that's what drives me. So even though Rome wasn't built in a day, and I have a lot of work ahead of me, I'd better get to it. So improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. Yes, and you also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. You're gonna knock stuff over? Sorry, I closed the shade and you can't look out the kitchen window. Yeah. Oh, don't mess with the. I can't look. It's Emil. Yeah. Okay. So question from Chop. Let's get to the questions now. From Chop. Hi. Hi, Chop. I can't get to a casino at 5 a.m. So as a second best choice, should I wait until just before the crowd head to the event or just after the event is letting out? Well, in general, let me lubricate my throat. Uh-oh, guys, stop. It's like wrestling. If they come across the screen, you'll see them like pounding on each other. That's right. You got a bookcase to climb. Always looking behind me. Let me know if they pull out knives and really go at it. So the question is, I can't get to the casino at 5 a.m. So as a second best choice, should I wait until just before the crowd heads to the event or just after the event is getting out? Okay, so I can give you general advice, but learn your casino well. And find out what they do, because there's a bunch of different options and they make choices. And then when they make choices, they tend not to change them. And so once you go to an event, before, after, during, and after, you it might take a couple events, but you can spot it depending on your observational abilities and how good are you at that, and you'll be able to see which one. In general, you might want to start after the event, and it's kind of right around that time when everybody wants to go home, and the casino is like, we don't want you to go home, so let's make people win, because they figured out that if they give out winnings and people stay, that they make more money than they gave out in winnings. They track all this, and it's a financial decision. Yeah. And Slots of Fun, who is a moderator, says, I love reading the comments. Thank you, Slots of Fun. You're a moderator. That's what you do. Yes, in my journey, we've been chatting several times this morning before the live stream in comments, and asks, does it matter whether you put cash in the slot or just use tickets? For example, with cash ticket, and put in cash is just taking the ticket to another slot. It does not matter. This is sort of the way you want to think about this is casinos are misers. They won't spend a dime if they don't have to. And what you're talking about, that sounds expensive. And casinos are like, that's just like a golden rule. You might say, well, they would make money from it, so it pays for itself. And I'm like, how? How would they make money? They're going to take your money anyway. It's not like they're going to, that's what they want to do. That's what all their work is to do. And my offers, when I'm offering you strategies to take advantage of them trying to take advantage of you. If they didn't take advantage of you, it would all be like fair. And what fun would that be? sort of like what is it? Like Illinois. Bars and taverns who have the machines controlled by the state lottery, and the state lottery is like, well, the state budget is really hurting right now, so we'll just take money. And the bars and taverns have no say, because in other states, and even in Illinois, for the casinos are big money, and they can lobby state legislators, and often do. There's all these commercial casinos are trying to get a license and a lot of that. But bars and taverns, they have no say, and so they're out of the loop. And that's Ainsworth. Yes, thank you, Kevin. Ainsworth. I was trying to remember the A name for that slot machine with win by. So I hope this helps you. Now there's technically my journey, but there's also opinion. Right? There's also worry. There's also paranoia. So if you are concerned, try to feed, if you want the reassurance of it's not being possible anymore, go put your cash into a machine, maybe $20 at a time. Get $20, ticket in, ticket out. Get $20 out. with a voucher, and then have a bunch of $20 vouchers, and then just or $10, go to each slot machine, put in a separate voucher, and then don't put, that one back in until you've used the others. And the thing you do want to watch out for, people can get a little extreme about this, and the extreme things that can happen is they take so many vouchers out of a single machine that the machine runs out of paper. You don't know how much paper is left, and it could run out of paper. You can sort of tell sometimes by the curl of the paper whether it's getting to be down to the sort of like smaller radius a little bit, but also, you can also fill up the bill insertion. Where you put bills in, it also takes the vouchers, and they just stack them in a little container, which they pull out later in these black boxes, and those can fill. In which case, the machine is going to say, "I need service." And if you're really on a roll with a particular slot machine, I've had it happen. I just tick it in, tick it out, tick it in, tick it out, tick it in, and the look on my face when I was like, oh, I can't believe it's oh yeah, but I've had so many pieces of paper in my hand from all of this. Oh, I didn't realize what I was doing. And back in 2004 when I was first playing slots at Miami Valley Gaming in Des Moines. Right? Thomas, Susan says, like that quarter denomination on the slots play. I hear you. And isn't that fascinating, right? So let me put that up in case you missed it. Yep. $200, and you only need to get from 163. So what I am doing at the casino is taking a picture of all 9 low limit progressive machines with a must hit by amount, must pay by amount, win before amount, and tracking it, trying to get a better idea of how quickly does it rise, how often I want to go. My general plan is to go once a week to Atlantis, and then once my house sells, which I've signed the closing. I've signed, everything people say about selling a house, is so true. I never sold a house before. I've signed the closing documents and notarized and everything online. And on Tuesday is when the buyers are supposed to sell, which I hope goes through. And that'll be one less thing to worry about, and also give me a little bit of cash. So for me to be able to go back to spending $300 at new to me casinos each time, maybe win $150 over the bankroll, maybe lose $150 less than $300, leave with $450 or leave with $150. But this gets me back into new to me casinos. Like, you might go look at your casino. You maybe have been there many times, but might be the first time you've kind of like gone for a walk, which is so important, getting to know your casino. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that. Friday night is when I want to go and play personally, maybe high limits. I didn't get as much from the house. There was 2 price reductions, and now it's not nearly what it was. It was enough for me to get a down payment for a house, and now it is not. So while disappointing, getting over it. Yes, so I'm looking forward to going and try these progressive machines, trying, going to the other casinos and paying for the Uber, and just, try to hit 11 in one day. Just try to get a card, find out if they give me permission, get the marketing department's number if necessary, and kind of start working on them. Let's see. I have, so Pinta Black says, anybody go to Southern California casinos lately, good or bad? Son Barker, are you able to comment? Sunbarker is on his way to San Manuel. He may already be there right now. I was talking to him just before the live stream. He's headed there. He's just going to try to listen. I don't know. He's like watching my videos, and I'm like, "Eyes on the road, buddy. Eyes on the road." and he might be able to report back if he's able to. But you can also, I think you can, as you a member of my California Slots Enthusiast group, if you go to, I'm not sure that. Okay, if my monitor wobbles, it's because my cat just like climbs around. There's a fireplace mantle over here, and now he's up on. Emil's up on the. See, so you want to go to FB, professorslots.com/FB. I can't take you there because it's private. And you have to be a member to see each one. There's my 18,000 member Face Professor Slots Enthusiasts, which was very active group. And then I also have a business profile, Professor Slots John Friedel, which I can show you. That would be not here. Right. And so if you click on any one of these states, you can go to your state, and we can go to California. You can go to California and see what the people have been saying, like this weekend, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, right now, if Sunbarker talks about it. And so, yes. And I have another question. Good. From Magpie. Did I share that? I did share that, right? Oh, I see what happened. And share screen. All these little intricacies. I did manage to get Yep, okay, good. A second monitor again, and that's always fun. Okay, question from Magpie 11. When assessing a must-win buy machine, how do you rate the amount a pot grows per play? Some machines only grow by pennies per play. Well, there's the spend money way and the not spend money way. So on the spend money way, make a bet and see how much it goes up by. But you do have to be careful that somebody else on the Progressive Jackpot network, and again, I'm throwing people in the deep end of the pool if you don't know about progressives, or some of them are standalone, some of them are on a network. And determining which is, you can stand there for 30 seconds and see if the number goes up without you having bet. And if you know how much that bet was, then you can estimate how much you'd have to, how much, if you can spot somebody who's betting and you know what the denomination is or the credits bet, you can determine how much each go up by. It's just math. I like to do it myself because then it's, I like to do it myself because then I can be like, nobody's betting. Okay, I'm going to make a $5 bet, and what happened? And then I can see how much I would need to bet based on that $5. Now that's a quick and easy, dirty way to do it, right? One way you can do it is, other way you can do it is like wait a week. Now I wouldn't wait this week. I'm going back every Wednesday. And taking pictures of those. I've done it 3 times now, and want to look at those lists, see if it's gone up, see if it's gone up, see if it's gone up, see if it's dropped, and try to determine where the must-hit buy amount is. Well, actually, on these machines, I don't have to figure out what the must-hit buy amount I'm told, which is just so much easier than figuring it out on your own. And then you need to know how much money you're going to spend to get to that amount. Now, the jackpot could win at any time. We've talked about this, Magpie. The jackpot could hit at any time. If somebody wins, it drops to the lowest amount. It could be the next person that plays it. It can win any time between those top amount and lower amount. But when it gets to the must-win buy, that's your advantage. That's nobody's won it. It has to win. It's a bigger amount. This is when I play. And then you have to start saying, is anybody else on the machine? Because, if it's one other person playing it while you're playing and you're each trying to win it, it's a 50-50 chance. unless the other person is doing minimum bets and you do maximum bets, in which case you might be like 80-20. So all this stuff is important, and what's going to be discussed in my next course as one of the topics. So many casinos getting must-win buys is just awesome. Question. One of my local features 3 to 4 slots newish within past year at the time on their webpage. I haven't noticed a difference in payout on those I've played. Any benefit to trying them? It can be. It depends on the contract with the casino has with the slot machine manufacturer. Okay, the wording can sometimes be, and we don't have the contracts. We don't have insight in the contracts, but what they can do, because slot machine manufacturer says, we want these machines to do well. We would like you to put them in a high traffic area, and we would like to have better than usual odds on them to see if people would play them when they're winning, but not for too long. A couple weeks, and it's a negotiated contract. Yeah, it's easy. And so the casino may not ask for that. The slot machine manufacturer may not ask for that. So, if you're not seeing it, they're generally not, the odds are generally not lowered unless it's what they call a, licensed, if it's a, like Wheel of Fortune has long since passed. It's the most popular slot machine out there, but the game, the licensing is expired on that. But you have things like the latest movies, the latest, TV themed, like only a few months ago, Brian Christopher came out with, got approved and set up a brand deal to have his cartoon image shown on a slot machine. And somebody has to pay for that licensing. And the slot machine manufacturers are going to try to push it off on the casinos, and the casinos are going to try to push it off on you. So if they're new and are based on, a TV show or something like that, somebody has to be paid for that. And that's the ones that have lower. But usually outside of that, they're not really lower odds. And sometimes they're better odds. But you have gone through it. You have gone through this, and you haven't noticed a difference. And that's what you need to do. Yeah. Magpie says, Sabada in Southern Cal is the best for Professor Slot strategies. Found good results between 2 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. Thank you for sharing. Okay, you're coming to visit. Could you please give a range of how much a 1-bedroom apartment could cost there? I didn't get a 1-bedroom apartment. I have 1 bedroom, and then the second bedroom is now my video studio, not my live stream studio, but my uploadable video studio. So I don't know, and it really does depend. You see my view? I'm paying for that view. And so, so many changes in Reno. Call and ask. Yeah. I'm told by the people who live here are it's lots of fun, but that's a lot of math. Yes, and call and ask. No, that's what I did. I felt Zillow was a fine place that you could find apartments, but then you had to call and ask if you want a 12-month lease versus a 1-month lease. All that matters. Yeah, and if you want a view, if you don't want a view, all that matters. Magpie says, congrats on the sale. Winners expect good things. High hopes, low expectations is my life plan, and that's worked well for me so far, except when I don't keep my expectations low enough. Yes. So I hope that the buyers complete the process. Otherwise, I start from scratch. Yeah. And let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Let me go through slots of funds math. Must hit by 30 $7 balance, $37 balance, times 100 would be 3640 spins. 88 cents would be, well, that was a quarter machine that I was showing you, and 32,000. And you can see how it would be less than the must win by amount, right? And that's basically it. Yeah. Now, you need to firm up some of those numbers. How much of what you bet went into that progressive jackpot? Because a little bit goes into each progressive jackpot, and one of them can be far, far away from the must hit by amount, and so is not your target for that strategy. But the other one would. Okay, so I'm getting questions here from people and RRev. So let me share this with you. If you go to my website, oops, add a stream. There you go. And let me put it down here in the corner with me. Yeah. Okay. So if you go to professorslots.com and you go to, can you see my mouse here? It's kind of small. Maybe you can't see it. I'm going to click on strategies there in the screen. Right there, it's highlighted. And then and this is my category and for the strategies, and you can go through these. We're going to go to basically, this is number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 3. And you're asking about cover strategy 3, but I want to go down to progressives. So if you want to go to progressive jackpots and my explanation, this is all free. And if you click on that, it's also professorslots.com/progressive-jackpots. You can watch the video. Or you can, one of the things I want to do is start adding podcast episodes to all these, but a lot of work to do. And I want to share this. So that is, I don't know what you mean. Do you cover something? Serenity, I'll get to your comment, but absolutely. Somebody's lots of fun is showing numbers, and it's just like Z. Question from John. Do central servers have the ability to adjust odds on machines that have a high traffic volume around them who are not playing slots, like ATMs? Noticed this last night, by the way. Yeah, high traffic area is, I'm going to throw everybody in the deep end of the pool, okay, and explain this a little bit more than I have, except to Magpie in our Slots IQ meetings, the paid community. All this that we're talking about, the adjusting for high traffic areas, not just a high traffic area, but currently a high volume traffic, it's known to be where people walk by, but are people currently walking by? All this is something that is known to the casinos. Every Friday is good weather Fridays, bad weather Fridays, snowy Fridays, warm Fridays, hot summer days, vacation, times kids are in school, kids are out of school. They have their traffic. They know what the people at their casinos do. New casinos don't, and they work hard to find out, but they know what every day of the week is like, every hour of every day, whether it's, how many people are there, whether it's cold, it's hot, weather, raining, snowing, whatever. They know for years what's going on. And so, there's this commentary out there that no, because casinos would not do this on the fly. And I'm like, you're darn right they wouldn't, but they don't have to. They know in advance. Set it up a week before, get all the approvals, we're done. And so, do central casinos have the ability to adjust odds on machines that are in high traffic volume around those that are not playing slots? Yeah. But it's not a surprise to them that that's happening. that nobody in the casino is suddenly looking up and going, oh, we got to quickly do. No. Saw it coming. Remember what I say? I don't care what your plan is. I care you have a plan. Casinos have a plan. Yeah. So my attorney, no fault to flip, none whatsoever. I asked, he said no, and I'm fine with that. Yeah. You were asking about him earlier, and you can watch for him at some point, or you can, I'm not going to share his email with you. Certainly not going to put it on any sort of YouTube thing. He's decided not to do it, and that's okay. I've gotten away from interviews. It all becomes like, well, in the last 20 years, back in the day when we were still using coins, and it's not like on focus and fun, but yeah. So I may get back to interviews, maybe interview somebody at the casino sometime. You're going to come over here? You can come over here if you want to. Just don't step on the keyboard. All right, maybe not. Hetty is making her way over. I'm going to move the keyboard for you so you don't step on it. And show everybody your tail. Show everybody your tail. Hey, nobody can see me. Okay, come on, move along. Oh, you're gonna come back. Make a decision. Here I am telling a cat to make a decision. Okay, so you're good. Okay, come on. Somebody's gonna clip that and use it. Okay. Televisions are warm, aren't they? Rev, do you cover strategies for Class 2 slot machines centered around the bingo type machines? I do. I have, I should mention, I am planning a trip to WinStar and Choctaw Durant. I have approaches that I share that I've been learning, but I haven't written it into an article. I feel like I need to get, I'd like everything to be perfect, and I don't have everything I need for that. There are strategies, and I plan on going in December to WinStar and Choctaw Durant for a couple of days, and there's people there who's going to provide some insight on some of the things that I understand and questions that I have to provide that. So it's interesting. What? My journey says, nice view. I could rent a room for you. Thanks. And I'm like, what? No, I have cats. I already have roommates. Serenity says, to lots of fun math. Z. And it's lots of fun. So yeah. So there's, information. It's not very hard, but I've talked about this, how to do it. What I found is when I go to the casino to look at these 14, 9 low limit, 5 high limit, 14 machines, I have to remember where in the casino are they. There's some in the Ainsworth ones are kind of in the same area, but otherwise they're kind of like spread all over, and I have to remember which one's which. I have to go back each time because I don't want to like walk around and just like, where is it? I want to go to each, and I have to like figure out how to do that. And that is something I want to explain, particularly in the course. So RRev, thank you for buying the course yesterday. I am starting an upgrade. It is going to be, let's see, what I'm going to do is go through all the content, and I'm going to add slides like this. Add the stream like this, where I'm going to have that next to me. If you've seen my picture on the YouTube community about my new studio with a television monitor right next to me, and I'm going to have slides because I didn't have those before, and it helps for people to have bullet points. And so I'm going to be using bullet points. I'm practicing on the live streams. I'm going to be sharing all this. And that is something that's coming to the 30-day course, as well as the trip to for class 2 machines, bingo style machines, in Oklahoma, because they have a lot of them. Not a lot of tribal casinos do in the United States, but they have like 45% of them, 55% class 3 on average for the state, not necessarily every casino. And I'm going to go to the 2 biggest casinos in the world, WinStar and Chuck Durant, and probably be there about 3 days. To try to do as much as I can while I'm there, do a review and see if I can in advance get a permission to record. That would be great, and so I can share some of that with you, and not just words, but actually video and photographs. And I would like to be able to do that. That's part of the planning of one of these trips. Now, I haven't seen Texas Tootsie. I believe she said something about being busy right now. Texas Tootsie was kind enough to use some of her airline miles to pay for a flight to Coshada Casino, tribal casino in Louisiana, in the first half of December. I won't say when, I don't want a crowd. And I've already had one person run up to me at Coshada saying, "Are you Professor Slots? Do you have a YouTube channel?" I'm like, yes, hi. And how you doing? And chatting with that individual. And yeah, so that would be all good. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Cage, ATMs, showrooms, conference center entrances, busy restaurants, especially in Vegas. Yep. Can't add much to that. And so you have to figure out which is the best place to start, because your casino has a budget on highly visible areas, and you have to start with the busiest areas. Your casino might have every end of row machine being set up to win, like at Soaring Eagle. Or it might be like, well, only the 3 machines in the entire casino, because it's all basically budget, what they can afford, what they've set aside for this. And yeah, that would be it. Pam says, "I would love to see you interview Brian Christopher." I admire him for his good work. He is our leader on the YouTube slots channels, and we probably wouldn't talk about slots, because he has said in his website, and he has said that that's not something he does. So I would probably ask him about so you're from Canada, I'm from Michigan, pretty close, and just have a conversation. But I don't think that would be of interest, except to see a side by side, I suppose. Yeah, nothing really to ask. And I like how he, there are people who try to pretend they know something. I get questions that are basically quote unquote from somebody else, and I'm like, so what you're saying is like all messed up. You can even read it to yourself, and it's messed up. But you haven't, and so just fantasy. I like the slots channels that don't, that if they were to do it, they would do it well, and so they've chosen not to do it well. They don't do it. And then there's the others like, hey, people will believe anything. Contradict themselves 30 seconds after they start with just the opposite, because that's their audience, not you. I've begun to realize that I've had to build my audience from scratch. You guys like what I offer. Other slots channels have other people who only like to watch others play, not to win money themselves, but to watch other people win money. The illusion, where in fact it's actually, they cut out long losing streaks, and so yeah. Yeah, right. It's lots of fun. I'm going to look at my retention graph later, and when I posted your comment about math, my responsibility for that, I'm going to watch how it dropped off. Yeah. Are you in Alabama, Rev? Have you asked a question before, I think? And let's see, did I? Yes. And if you are interested in, so I completely understand. There's people in um, there are people in the state of Washington who are asking me about Class 3 machines, which are unique to the state of Washington. And I figured out a strategy that works. I have people working on it to refine it, and it doesn't apply any other state. And Class 2 machines, if the tribal casinos, I go through all this history, I'm talking less about history these days. Class 2 machines are allowed for every tribal casino, except for very few exceptions in some of the eastern states, because of a 1989 federal law, and they're allowed to do that. And there's all kinds of controls and things to take care of. But the Class 3 slots are only allowed at tribal casinos if they have a gaming compact. And that is something that has to be negotiated and approved by the federal Interior Department of Interior, and sometimes they can't make that happen. Yeah, yeah. So yes, I appreciate there are a whole group of people who want to know about Class 2 machines, and I'm working on it. Should be here in, well, less than a month. Yep. Should have something for you. Probably have a live stream on it and provide an article and all that, video, etc. Love to be able to go there and not just talk to people, but record. Yeah. Let's see, return a week later, or is next day okay? The deja vu method is a week later, because the reason that strategy works is because the week later is a similar Thursday or a similar Friday or a similar Saturday with similar crowds. And that's what's driving that win, was the casino saw the crowd and in advance set up those machines to be winners. And that's what you're saying, want to take advantage of. Now, if we were in the middle of summer, I suppose Fridays might be, but I've never seen a Friday that was like a Saturday, that was like a Sunday, that was like a Monday, that was like a Tuesday. No two of them seem to be identical. And all this is driven by the casino saying, we know what happens on Tuesdays. We know what happens on Wednesdays. Now, some people have said 1 year later after a big win, which is interesting because, that might be a possibility as well. 1 year, 1 week. And that's kind of the options for you. Now, if it's 1 day later, then it's every day, which is possible. Get to know your casino well and do that. Yeah. Lizard King says, where do I start if I wanted to pursue this kind of lifestyle? Okay. What you need to do is win. And so you need to know if you can win at your local casino. And if it's a riverboat casino, it's really tough. If you're in the state of Washington, it's really tough. If you're going to bars and taverns in Illinois, it's really tough. If you have one casino that's conveniently located near you, then all your eggs are in one basket. So that's one side of things. The other side of things is, are you thinking about being a digital nomad? Are you, there's truck drivers that crisscross the United States and use my state-by-state articles to learn about each of those states as they drive through them, and that becomes like an option. If they find a winning casino, well, maybe they'll be back in a couple of months, but they have to go from one to the next, so they get really good at new to me casinos. But then and they do well. Trucking and gaming is sometimes here. I don't know if he is here. They are today, and so that's you have to look at what's available and what you're willing to do, as with any job and as with any lifestyle. Also, you have to keep your there's so many unrealistic expectations out there by people who don't know any better, or just trying to scam you. Here today, gone tomorrow. Hi, I've been here for 8 years myself, and which and on YouTube since 2008. You're going to jump, aren't you? You're going to jump. Watch everything shake. Boom. Oh, failed. I'm just watching my. Jeez. Uh, um, wow, I got to make a landing spot for him to do that. Um, right. So, uh, uh, you, so just the basics. Do you have casinos available to you? Go to professorslots.com slash, and I'll share this for you. So let me go to professorslots.com and I'll type slash online resource. This is your online resource. And this is my state by state articles, which I can show you. And if you tell me what state you're in, we can go take a look at it, and territories. And it's an article that I've written up. I will. I don't know where you're at. I'll go with Colorado, I guess, just to say Colorado. Go to Colorado, and what do you know? Colorado has return statistics, which is a great thing. If it happens to be where you're going, they also have two tribal casinos over in the corner, and they have three frontier towns, as they call them, two about 4 or 5 miles apart, if that. And then, is that right? 2 or 4 miles apart. 1.4, excuse me, 1.4 miles apart, Central City and Blackhawk, but then Cripple Creek is further away. And which one of these has better odds? It's all something you can look at. So you need to look into what your local casinos have to offer, because it's not like you're saying, you can't say, I'm lucky, so I can go anywhere and be lucky. You need to find decent casinos. I've kind of gone on about that. I hope that helps. You want to send me an email at john@professorslots.com. We can talk more about it. Yes. So if you are, it's great that so many slots channels are doing live play in casinos, because you can look at your watch and you can, what machine they're on and what time it happened, and you can go back a week later. So use the live stuff. Yeah. Sun Barker's here. I like how you notice the psychological tricks casinos use on people. Yeah. It's business marketing. I remember when I took my marketing class and I learned that the logo for Starbucks, the green color, is to kind of make you feel a certain way. Salvador Dali has a red painting where people walk away going, why do I feel so angry? It's emotion. I have colors that I use on my website. Let me share that. And I will tell you what the colors mean. So, and let's see here. So red, and let me make that a little bit bigger. Red is for passion. Green is everywhere you'll find green on my web pages is a button to get free stuff or paid stuff. And that's the green buttons. And then I have, what else do I have? Bring that over here. In the blue. Blue is calm, thoughtful. And I chose these 3 colors. There's also a gray, but that's kind of a dark, not a dark gray. And that's it. And that's my 3 colors. Just to try to influence you to be passionate, but think. And that's because that's who I am. Yeah. And isn't Magpie great to notice those things, John? Absolutely. And Mary Ellen is in Rhode Island. Went to Twin on Thanksgiving morning. Slots were all tight. Didn't see anyone winning anywhere, but I did see a lot of tilted real machines closed for service. I avoided all machines of that type when I saw that. Was that wise or not? Probably wise to avoid those machines if something's going on. Even if you were to win, they might invalidate it because of those problems. I went to, I don't know if they fixed them yet, but I went to Indiana, Horseshoe, Indiana, formerly known as, Horseshoe, Indianapolis, formerly known as Indiana Grand. and 10% of the machines were busted. They had work orders on them. Some of them were shattered. Others, I read some of the reports, and some of them were not connected to the central computer. They had a faulty this, fans were broken, various things, but some of them were 4 months old. And I went there about a year ago, and I'm like, what? They can't get spare parts, or they don't have people to repair them? And it's all kind of like, yeah, for 150 out of 1,500 machines in the casino, including high limits. And I'm like, wow, and that's the sort of thing where I'm like, what's going on with this casino? I understand, shortage of parts and all of that, but I hope they fixed it by now, because it was already 4 months at that point. Yeah. I think you did well, Mary Ellen, to, watch out for odd behavior. And you're welcome, Boom Dia. And M. Grayley, when they tweak these machines' odds, do they open it up and adjust it, or is it adjusted with the computer armband I see them wearing? Neither. As we discussed, it's never live. It was planned a week ago, if not more, for that day. So, I mean, people are very concerned that, well, I was winning, and a casino employee looked at me and they punched in a code in their machine, and then they smiled an evil smile at me, and now I lose. And I'm like, what? This is not fast. There's often, every state has different gaming regulations, but usually there's a requirement to report it to the gaming industry, what you're doing. Yeah. Okay, they reported it last week, and then they did it because they know it was going to be a crowd tonight, because it's been that way every Friday with that kind of weather after a game. They know their business, so no, they don't. And the only place that has to adjust these machines, I've heard Arizona doesn't have central servers, but on the other hand, I suspect they do. Colorado, in the gaming reports, says it can't have central computers, yet they do, and that's been asked and answered. The casinos that they just love them. The casinos that don't have central servers are those that can't have central servers. And who are those? Riverboat casinos, because this is not a Wi-Fi connection. Those are interruptible, and Wi-Fi channels, unless you're in the military, all have to be accessible. Even if you don't have password for it, and so this is not secure, and so they use cables. But in riverboat casinos, they can't run them under the floor, because it's not a floor, it's a hall. There's no room. Go past the hall and there's muddy water. Those casinos are like, let's work with the gaming commission in our state to try to get a land-based casino on property we already own, and see what we need to do that, so we can have central servers. You're killing us if you don't let us have central servers. Yeah. And John says, I found the week later strategy works only for 3 weeks in a row at my casino. Yeah, I found it at Belterra Park, Horseshoe Cincinnati. Back when it was Horseshoe Cincinnati, then it became Jack Cincinnati, and now it's Hard Rock Cincinnati. Excuse me. I found it worked like 4, sometimes 5 weeks, and 3. Yeah, if it's a much bigger casino, then it's going to be a lot more changes happening every night. Yeah. California. Okay. So professorslots.com/CA, and read up on it. Yeah. What there is to know. No spoilers. How is your poker face? Just kidding. Sydney hits about how the first 24 5-spin method machines went, waiting patiently for the others to post. Really enjoying the first videos. Thank you. Well, the first 2 videos, Slots of Fun has a slots channel, so I'm like, oh, we can talk shop, and yeah, the overhead had copyright music, so I first two videos I released them with kind of like a rock music that I had a license to use. And a license from a company that works really closely with YouTube, so I wouldn't get dinged for them, copyright strikes. But I also posted them to TikTok, and TikTok said no. And I'm like, no to the music or no to my playing slots. So I uploaded another one where it had no music, no audio at all. And they said no. And I'm like, oh, so TikTok is, and I'm sorry, TikTok people watching from people that are on TikTok and follow me there, they won't allow me to play. And so I won't be. I'll just doing a daily Q&A set questions on those. And so in what the heck? I don't want power off. I've got a new television, and after anyway, it's an interesting situation. Did you like the new background? I put up my degrees. Let me show you the full effect. So that's my 8 college degrees. The one up there is the PhD, master's, bachelor's, a very proud associates. I put that one in red. That's the Associates of Science, first college degree in my whole entire family. Yeah, so those are my college degrees. And Scott has a question. What are your thoughts on the class of casinos that run off servers where the players are playing live bingo or each individual slot having its RNG? So bingo machines, I was asked that question. They are playing a game together. It is not all of the bingo machines. It is a small group of them. And I'm trying to figure out exactly how many, 20, 10, 5, 30. But you can see if the bingo game being played commonly amongst that group of machines is getting close to ending. And how is it ending? And you can see the little bingo, electronic bingo card, lit up bingo card in the corner, upper left, lower right, whichever, on VGT machines. Video gaming technology is the company that was bought by, I think, Ainsworth, or was it Aristocrat, one of the two A names. That was earlier this year. And those are playing a common game, but that's a class 2 machine, and that's all something we can take advantage of. Similar to Washington State's unique slots, there's a group of machines, they're all playing together, and you can take advantage of that. Basically, the Washington State, not to go on about it, based on scratch tickets, virtual electronic scratch tickets. It plays like a slot machine, but nobody really understands that until they start looking at it and looking at the rules, and there's ways to win. So, and that's bingo machines on servers. Now, the individual slot having its RNG, the concern here is people don't really, people know random number generators from Microsoft Excel. And I got to tell you, there's a bit more to it than that. It's people are like, well, it's random number generators. And I'm like, and they're like, what? Random number generators are random number generators. And I'm like, no, they're not. And so I try to explain things like slot machines are not roulette wheels, where each number is equally likely unless the gap is like twice as big, in which case that one is twice as likely as any of the individual others. And that's a physical random number generator by spinning a wheel. Hopefully it's balanced. And random number generation in Excel, if you use the random number function, any number is possible equally. It's called a uniform random distribution. So the random number generator has a distribution assigned to it, a frequency distribution, a probability distribution, which, I'm sorry, is getting into calculus. And these things require stats. to understand them. And I meet people who kind of like heard some of the words and use them poorly, like volatility. It's like, dude, get a clue. Um, uh, it's just, please understand the words that you're trying to misuse to your audience. Yes, maybe you need to take a statistics course, and at least you'll get definitions on some of the words that you're using. But then if you've, like me, had let's see here, five statistics classes there, 4 there, 6 there, 2 there, 3 there, that's a lot of statistics classes. And I understand the definitions, and I also understand, I'm also conversive. I can also talk about statistics. And you don't get that a lot from people. So random number generators have a random distribution assigned to it, which can be changed. And there's many settings in a slot machine to determine not to change the odds, but to change the distribution associated with the odds. If the random number generator is like from an Excel spreadsheet in a slot machine where everything was equal, then you have an equal chance of winning the top jackpot as you would 0. That would be a disaster, right? Just questions to have a conversation about random number generators. I should probably have another presentation on random number generators, just to sort of, I know what it's like. I did that for volatility. I know what it meant. It took me a while to understand what other people were even talking about, because it wasn't random number generator, it wasn't volatility that they were talking about. What are they talking about? Okay, so I figured out what they're talking about. Maybe I should do that the same. My explaining random number generators is not hard, but it's getting across the idea of what actually is happening is a struggle. And Serenity says, I knew someone who always wore green socks on the casino visit, the color of money. So tell me, did they wear them so much that they got a hole in the bottom, and then would they lose their money through their hole in the bottom of their socks? Just making this stuff up. Pit to Black says, like they get us with chemicals in our food to excite our taste buds to crave more, they get us psychologically. The casino's the same way. If you look into the history of food, my daughter's kind of into food, and I've been learning a little bit. And it's interesting. There's early videos of New York City where people are walking around on a busy New York street, right? 5 Points or whatever. And everybody's thin. And then a few years later, a decade or so later, nobody's thin. What happened? Processed foods came out. Sugar refined sugar got put into a lot of foods. And salt. I just love my salt. Salt's so good. Sometimes soup is just like a bowl of salt. Soupy salt. And Salt Life. Oh, there you go. Right. Hey, Linda. Good to see you here. Okay, questions. Linda, another Linda. Quick review of FireKeepers Casino. I find it very hard to win there. Right. And if you go to professorslots.com, and I will share before I do that. I'll do that. Okay. So if you go to professorslots.com, go to reviews. And go to, I went to, in April, one of my moderators, Paula, her daughter got married. Also, Joanna is another, did I pass it? Is another moderator, and I'm trying to find, there's Kentucky's, Hollywood, Miami. Did I pass it? I might have passed it. Oh, shoot, let me, okay, so let me see if I can remember the name of it. Friday Casino Observations. So if you go to Friday Casino Observations, professorslots.com/Friday-Casino-Observations, you'll find this is an article on FireKeepers. I didn't say the word FireKeepers, but it's there. And also, and there's a video, and um, so I had conversation. I was there for 90 minutes on a Friday night, heavy rain. Casino was at least half full. Nobody won a hand pay in 90 minutes. All I did was walk, saw no hand pays. I heard about one. Somebody was saying they just won one, but I didn't see it in the high limit room. None. 90 minutes. And so I had a conversation. I had a conversation with the person behind the promotions counter and her friend who was listening in. And I said I walked around for an hour and an hour and a half, and I saw no wins. The casino's half full. This sounds terrible. The person I was talking to, her coworker, said, quote unquote, well, there'll be a lot more wins, a lot more hand pays in a little while tonight. If the casino went from half full to full, then maybe 2 hand pays would be the odds of what I was watching for 90 minutes. Not hundreds. And so they turned up the odds. So don't play at FireKeepers unless other people are winning. Because if nobody's winning, you shouldn't expect to. I found that after like 9, 10 in the evening on that Friday was when suddenly pop, 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 pop. And that's what you do with FireKeepers. Yeah. Oh no, Linda says, Professor Slots, I played the must-hit buy slots for 14 hours. I hit $927.38 major, spent $1,200 bankroll, including kickback. Oh, wow. Yeah, ouch. Ouch. I'm glad you hit it and didn't have to won by somebody else, and you get it there and then somebody else swoops in and takes it. Okay. My sincere condolences, Linda. Question from Chris. Will Professor Slots sell logo wristbands like Tough Love or Take the Dollars and Run? Sometimes that I can use as reminders. That would be a good idea. Thank you. I have, let's see, merchandise. So if you go to any of my pages, what I have now is, let's see here. There we go. So if you go to the bottom of many of my pages on webpage at professorslots.com, there's something called merchandise. And thank you, Linda. And so there are a few things that basically say I'm a slots enthusiast. I figured you might want to have pins because that's easy. Also, a little pouch, coffee mugs, stickers, shirts, and there's men's shirts, women's shirts, and pullovers and sweatshirts and polo shirts. So all products are here. And so there's even a pillow, and all these come in as many colors as is safe. And so you can take a look at professorslots.com/merchandise. But what you're saying, what you're talking about, that would be a great thing. I used to have wristbands that said I'm a slots enthusiast and Professor Slots on the other side, but maybe I was thinking about making those a free gift when I meet people. Yeah. And maybe I'll do that. But that's a good idea. I appreciate that. I'll take the money and run. Yeah, that would be good advice. Maybe even put it on a shirt. That might be a little easier. Wristbands are great too. Thank you. I'll capture that so that I can have it and remember the exact wording that you used. Well done. Smell of the casino, I think. That people talk about using perfumes that kind of like sway your emotions. And I think that it's very hard to get that right. And I think there's so many things that goes wrong. Yet on the other hand, casinos are cheap, and that is cheap. And I want to thank Linda for your $20 donation. Good luck with your new home. Thank you very much. Good luck with my old home. I've done everything I can now. I'm just waiting for people to sign on, the buyers to sign on Tuesday, which, is a necessary next step. Okay, so I have a consultation in about an hour and a half that I need to go finish preparing for. Yes, so improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. And there. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. And it's going to get crazy with Professor Slots. My cat's sharing again. It's going to get crazy with being in the casino. I hope to get half the casinos on the Las Vegas Strip. I hope to get half the casinos in Reno and just start showing you stuff. But it's going to be added to what I'm doing, not a replacement of what I'm doing. Like, I'm also going to be going to Gashada and a couple of casinos in Oklahoma this year yet. And so I'm not becoming Vegas centric. So just FYI for all those concerns people have asked me about. Okay, that's it. What a great live stream. So you'll see me in my next live stream on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, or in the Pacific time zone, 7 p.m. In the meantime, I highly recommend this video on getting loads more wins from this strategy.